do very simple exercises that's going to really stabilize and strengthen. So we're going to go ahead and start on the chair. So everybody get yourselves on the chair. Everybody sit nice and tall. Posture is everything, right? Oftentimes we live our lives here. When you're in pain, this is where we want to be, right? So I want you to lift yourselves up and off so that you can be right on your sit bones. The sit bones reside right in your bum, your cheeks, right? There's the bone called ischial-tuberosities. And so shift a little bit to the left and right, because oftentimes we're a little bit off kilter, we're off balance. And so see if you can come to the middle and sit nice and tall, right? And then place your hands kind of down by your side, roll your shoulders up and pull back. And see if you can be sitting nice and tall. Draw the navel in toward the spine. And see if you can kind of feel your spinal segments decompressing using your muscles without being rigid. You know what I mean? But up. And so I usually say the shoulder blades, right? Shoulder blades are wings in the back, right? So if you can place the right shoulder blade in the left jean pocket, right? So draw them down. And then the left shoulder blade is going to go in the right jean pocket. So it's a crisscross down. But it kind of sort of looks like from here to like that. Does that make sense? And then navel to the spine. It doesn't have to be unnatural. This is sort of where we should be. Oftentimes, our 25-pound average weight of the head shifted forward when we walk around like this. And all these muscles have play. And then our center of mass gets so screwed up, right? So that's where it starts. We're starting from the fundamental structures, right? Sit up nice and tall. See if you can keep your knees from going here to being straight forward. And see if you can come higher on your toes. All of a sudden, it sort of does things, right? Like, oh my gosh, you're asking me to like hold myself up now, use my muscles. Because oftentimes, what do? We've got everything like just hanging out, right? So I want you to just be here. This is one of those things where you can apply this throughout the day. So be light in your ischial tuberosities or your sits bones onto the chair. But see if you can activate yourself enough to where you're not putting all your weight into the seat cushion, but you also have a driving force up toward the ceiling. So we're always going up against the gravity pull, right? Does that make sense? Do you guys feel that? Like I'm on my tippy toes right now. Okay, so let's just bring those heels down and then pull them up again and down and pull them up and down. Watch your knees, they'll buckle, they'll go out, they'll do all kinds of things. See if you can align them so that the knees are right in front of your hip joints, right? Up and down. Do you guys feel that? Don't look down because where your head goes is where your spine goes. So see if you can direct your visual field right straight ahead, right? And imagine if I have you like a puppet and I'm pulling you from the crown of your head toward the ceiling. And you are so light. Do you guys feel that? Good. And then you guys too, you see how like I'm here? See if you can pull up and out of your pelvis and roll your pelvis up, arching your back. And then see if you can roll your posteriorly or tilt your pelvis back like this and then pull it up. Do you feel that? Is there pain? Good. So I want you to guys just to sit there and then feet shoulder width apart and be toes straight forward right under your knees, right? And then from there, keep the toes up on the left side and see if you can lift your left knee up. And when you lift it up, try not to like shift over, but lift up as high as you can without shifting anything else. You should feel that core kind of kick in. Hold it up there. And then down. And then the right side. See if nothing else changes. Do you guys feel that in the core? And down. Sit up tall. Don't rely on the backrests of your chair. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. How many of you feel that in your legs? In the legs, yeah. Yeah. And up and down. So we're going to take it a step further. We're going to keep the right knee up. Okay, sit up nice and tall so we don't, slouch down. And then see if you can kick that heel up and back down. Keep that knee up. Good. And kick and back. And 3. How many of you guys feel that? We haven't even used any weight. We're just, all we've got is a chair. Do you see how much that's building your quads? Sitting up nice and tall. It hurts?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like burning and having energy to give all the time. So that's why I'm struggling. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left knee up, toes up, and straighten and back. So this is going to be recorded, and Carrie, you're going to be happy to know, the more you do it, the more you're going to find, oh my gosh, last time we were there, I can only do 5, and I was in tears because I was in so much pain. Now I can do 10. Not only that, pretty soon it's going to be 20 and 30. You've got to start. And that's why the whole message to the Rebel thing is, just show up and just start doing things, and then you'd be fine. So can you place your hands just behind your bum and see if you can press down onto the palms of your hands and see if you can lift up. See how shoulders go naturally back? Come high up on your toes. Do you guys feel that on the deep part of your abdomen, that core kind of kicking in? Not really?
Remember, we're pulling our belly button to our spine.
Sit like a man. And then from there, I've got short legs, so I'm going to kind of come forward like this. Can you guys walk your hands forward and keep going forward and see if you can walk your hands forward and place it down and see if you can allow your head to go down. And then slowly, I want you to walk your hands up the leg, nice and slow. And then sometimes, what happened?
Oh, I just sort of.
Well, the thing is, when you go down, I saw the reason why I asked you how you were is you were holding yourself up like this the whole time. The whole point of that is to really relax to a point where you can really feel these muscles just relax. I'm sorry?
I'll fall off the chair.
Well, you can scooch back a little bit so you have more leverage. I'm so forward because I've got such short legs, and if I don't, then I'll fall off. I'm sorry? I'm pretty flexible too, yeah. Enough. But that comes at a cost. I'm very unstable too.
Yeah.
So anyway, sit up nice and tall, bring your knees back in. And then I want you to, let's raise our right arm up all the way. Left hand is on the chair or by your side. And then see if you can gaze up toward the right side. And breathe into your right lung and bring it back. Right arm down, left arm reaches up, and bend over the gut toward the left side and breathe into the left lung and back. And the other side, and breathe and back. Left side, up and back. Good. Stay here, shoulders up and back. Shoulders up and back. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Neck down and look up. And look down and look up. Look down and look up. And bring it back to neutral. Look straight forward. And then look to the right and back center. And to the left and back center. And right, back center, left, and back center. Raise your arms, both arms up overhead. Interlace them. And place the interlaced palms of your hands behind your head. Nice and tall. Elbows go back. Really press your head back towards your hands while your hands are pushing you forward. So there's this isometric kind of a contraction on the back side of your necks. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Release those arms, palm side up toward the ceiling and stretch up, and arms out by your side. Good. Right heel forward, toes up, hinge forward from your hips, and see if you can stretch into the back side of the right leg. Do you feel that? Breathe. And back. And then step the right foot back, left heel forward, toes up, hinge forward from your hips. Keep your chest back, neck, shoulders back, and just hinge from the hips. Breathe. And back. Good. So let's lift your right leg up and circle your ankle clockwise 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. And go counterclockwise. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that leg. Toes flex, point, flex, and point, flex, and point. And just holding it up there is a lot of work, right? And back. Left side. Let's do clockwise turns. 3, 4, 5. Counterclockwise. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that knee. Toes point, flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. And point and flex. And heart down. And shake it out. Let's come high up on your toes and relax. Come high up on your toes and relax. Come high up on your toes and relax. Up and down. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. Good job. So now I want you to kind of lean forward, feet right below your knees. Let's kind of bend them a little bit more. The further you can get your feet under your knees, like more flexed toward the chair, and then leaning forward, you're going to kind of stand up using those legs. Good. And then go down, nice and slow. Good. And up. See how I never quite sat down? But try not to let the knees buckle or go up. Try to keep them aligned. See if you can keep their navel to the spine. I'll show you sort of what I mean by that in a minute when we get it down to the floor and back up. So when you look down, the key thing to knee squats like this, I want the knees to be behind your toes when you look down. Otherwise, you'll screw up your ACLs, your meniscus, and it's not a good alignment for that knee to track. So I need the knees to stay behind your toes. And it's hard, so you might not have to go down too far, and that's where you are, and that's fine. Got it? Okay. So however way you need to go, I want you to see if you can find yourselves onto the mat, and then I want us on our backs. So everybody keep your knees bent. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to stretch our back. So I want you to kind of tilt your back, just the back, round your back. And then pull up and rolling on your pelvis. You guys feel that? And when you go down like this, you should feel a good stretch back here. Is that painful? Okay, good. Can you keep your feet flat? No.
I can't either.
That's fine. So everybody, see if you can roll over to the right side and somehow or another get down onto the elbows and then find yourselves on your backs. So we got there safely. Okay. So I want everybody to keep their knees bent, feet flat. Okay. And then I want you to take a deep breath in and then exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when you exhale, I want you to breathe out like Darth Vader. Like you're fogging a mirror for as long as you can. Good. And inhale through your nose. And go with the natural motion of your spine. When you take a deep breath in, you're going to arch. And then as you exhale, you're going to contract the rib cages. Inhale. And exhale. So keep your knees bent. Now what I want you to do is on your inhale, let's do feet together so it's easier. On your inhale, the knees are going to come out to the side. Open them like a book. Inhale, split them out. And exhale, pull them in through the core. Go ahead and roll over onto your right side and kind of sit up for me. So sit up nice and tall if you go this way. Put your heels down, right? Can you sit up nice and tall? Okay. All I want you to do is see if you can open up your hips by taking your toes out, which is a comfortable position for our carry.
Yeah.
And then see if you can roll it in.
This is not comfortable.
Yeah, okay, you try, kind of activate those muscles, the internal rotators of your hips, to go out nice and slow, but don't flop out, but I want you to control that pull. Does that make sense? Look at your toes, and then see if you can straighten them out and back. Right leg, good, and back. Left leg, and back. And out, and back. I know, Stacy's the same way. We, a lot of women, we stay like opened up in our pelvis and we never really close up after we give birth, like honestly. And so we stay like this, and this is a comfortable position. Nobody teaches you how to kind of get that back control. And on top of that, there's a lot of atrophy that occurred in the last 3 years that you've been bedridden. So you have to sort of relearn what you have to do. I want you guys to, though, will your foot to see if you can kind of draw your big toe in a little bit and keep that in. And that's going to be like, you're going to make a little faces to try to control that, but that's what it requires. You see how like it takes a lot of work, but you're able to do it, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And back. And both knees bent. And then sit up nice and tall and see if you can bend forward. And just hunch forward like this, breathe. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And take a deep breath in and exhale. And then walk yourselves back up. Okay. And then from there, I want to do a little bit more. So what I want you to do is see if you can lift your right leg up like this. Keep your knees bent. And down. And left. And back. Right. And left. Good. Right. And left. You're doing it. Okay. Can you do it, those of you who can you do it with your legs straight? Right? And left. It's a lot harder, isn't it? And try not to shift your weight between your cheeks. Did you know, like if I show you things that I want you to do, rather than you looking at me like, I can't do that, well, guess what? Then you can't. But if you say, I'm going to do that, well, guess what? You can. Does that make sense? So aim a little bit higher, because I think we're so used to like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything anymore. And that's that narrative that we tell ourselves a lot, and then we just kind of get stuck there. So that idea when Christy said, like, I can't lift, but then I'm like, my right toe, like, lift for me, like that kind of a dialogue. really does help. And sometimes building that back up, it's a process, but once you start to take that one step forward, the next step gets a little easier. And every day doesn't have to be miles, but just one step. Just keep going, and before you know it, it's gonna come. Okay, I'd much rather you right now, for the sake of your body, keep your knees bent and do this instead of doing this, because you're not helping yourself by just hyperextending, because this is hard enough, right? So please know that you can be leaned up against the wall too, so that you're supported on the upper body, but you can still use your legs. Because you need control over your legs again. Making sense? Good. Keep your knees here. Let's just kind of do a little gentle stretch. So let's bring our right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Good. And then twist it back. And come back. Bring your left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Twist back. Knees over your right shoulder. Breathe. And back. We're going to figure this out on the chair. Well, I'm just kind of learning all your body types right now. From there, see if you can bring your heels in toward the groin a little bit more. And then open. That's a very easy stretch for you, right? Inch forward a little bit. Breathe. Look at Pam. And look at Christy. Those are some tight hips. So these are all my builds. I don't have as loose, and look at Nev. Doesn't that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Look how flexible you are. Breathe. And Nev, you can probably sit on a block. And I'd like to see you sit on a block right now, because that'll free up your pelvic movement a little bit more to enable a little bit more of anterior tilt in your pelvis. Yeah, hinge forward a little bit. Yeah, doesn't that feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, breathe. Do you guys feel that in the hips? You still feel that, right? Because you're so flexible in your hips too. And